Hey everyone, welcome to day 5 of the Vows 5-Day Challenge. Congratulations, you are still on this journey. And folks, this is not the finish line in investing in your marriage, but hopefully you've taken some great steps and hopefully you're seeing some positive fruit already from your marriage as you've put into practice these simple principles of giving thanks for who your spouse is, of practicing the behaviors of love, rather than just doing something when you feel like it, but rather feelings follow behaviors. We also talked about celebrating the differences in marriage and ways to improve our communication on day 4. And today I want to share with you just a small tidbit that is simply this. We need to make sure in our marriage that we are having fun with our spouse. You know, so often life pulls at us, and before we know it, we're just maybe we're a taxi service for our kids, or our work's pulling us here, church is pulling us there, and all these commitments are pulling us. And before we realize it, we're not really having face-to-face time with our spouse. And in courtship and dating, we spent a lot of time, almost exclusively all of our time, face-to-face. But life, the further we go into marriage, starts pulling us where we're working side by side to manage kids, to manage our life, to manage job, to manage all these things. And if we're not intentional, we need to make sure that we are having, preferably daily, but for sure weekly times and monthly times, I'd like to say quarterly or 3-month times, and even yearly times where we are connecting, doing things that we enjoy with our spouse. And what those things are that you enjoy doing with your spouse is completely up to you. For some couples, I know they enjoy golfing together. Some couples, I know they enjoy camping together and being in the outdoors. For my wife and I, we love going and trying new restaurants and spending a night out eating and having a good time and laughing with each other's stories. Other couples enjoy traveling together and finding places to do that. Whatever your thing is with your spouse, you need to have it. It could be Tuesday night, you watch your favorite show and order pizza in. Whatever that is, you need to make sure that you're guarding that special face-to-face time with your spouse. That investment of being face-to-face where you can have each other's full attention is critical and is key. A lot of marriages that continue to go on and are not intentional lose that ability to have fun. It's like we're kind of annoyed at each other, and if I laugh with you, then I'm kind of saying I agree with you, and so we just give each other the cold shoulder. We don't want to practice that at all. Rather, we want to have the ability to connect through laughter, through fun things, finding those things that are our things. You need to have something that's your thing, not just my husband has this, my wife has this. No, we have something that we enjoy together. And if you don't, then what a perfect time to try new things out. Hey, honey, let's go try a new restaurant. Well, is that our thing? Hey, let's watch this show and see what we do. Let's be intentional to connect face-to-face with each other. Just because it doesn't go well and you don't feel like you have a thing doesn't mean you just give up on it. Don't just go into your own rooms and go into your own space. That's not really what a marriage. The worst thing I think you can have in a marriage is to simply be roommates. Nobody wants that. It takes commitment, though. It takes vulnerability and being face-to-face. So today, I want you to think through what's one thing over the next week that we can do fun together. And then also think as we start to see some light at the end of the tunnel, I think with this COVID stuff, hey, what's one thing 3 months down the road that we can plan together? Maybe it is a trip down the road. It doesn't need to be extravagant. You don't need to go into debt for this. You need to find what is special and meaningful to you as a couple, then go for it and do it. Well, we're reaching the end of the Vows 5-Day Challenge, and I'm just keenly aware there's some items that we haven't covered. Finances in marriage. We've not covered how to have constructive arguments and not destructive arguments. We've not talked about what to do if you're intimate, your sex life's really struggling, and maybe for some couples it's non-existent. What do you do in moments like that? What do you do if there's not faith in one spouse and the other person has that? There's still a lot of big issues in marriage that we didn't have the time to cover. If you feel like you are hung up on something and you need some resources or help, or maybe connected to a licensed marriage and family therapist, we as a church are here to support you as you seek to take steps in your marriage to follow after Jesus. I also just want to say a note here. Some of you may have tuned in each day, but your spouse doesn't want anything to do with it. your spouse is not interested in improving your marriage, the last thing in the world they could ever imagine themselves doing is going to counseling. They're not going to be into that. For some of you say, you know what, I don't have a great marriage, and truthfully, there doesn't feel like there's much hope for a great marriage. But yet, I just want to say and commend you. Many of you in those type of relationships are seeking to honor your vow, your solemn promise that you made before God and these witnesses. And I just want to say, may God richly bless your efforts. You know, you may not experience the fruit of a great marriage, but as your kids see you remain faithful in tough times, may the Lord bless their marriage and their grandchildren's marriage, and may God even bless your marriage, that as you seek to live out your solemn promise, that God will bless and keep his promise to you. Well, this isn't the end of the journey. Continue to invest in your marriage and watch what God does as your marriage gets better and moves to become great.